Hi, everybody. It's Tim Constantine from the Washington Times. And for America, my great friend, I am so thankful you're in my life. Dave Bozell. Hi, Dave.
Timothy, how are you? Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. You know, we talk politics every week, and we talk about sometimes topics that are tough, that are difficult, that are unpleasant. And so I thought, what if we just turned the dial a little bit this week and talked in terms, we can talk politics, but what are you thankful for? It's November 2025. It's a very different world than it was a year ago or 2 years ago or 5 years ago. What are you thankful for?
Look, I'm thankful for Tom Homan, first and foremost. This border is secure. The White House announced that they have released exactly 0 illegal immigrants in the last 6 months into our country. That was the signature campaign promise of President Trump's. Tom Homan deserves a lot of credit navigating all of the national security, jurisdictional, legal challenges, et cetera, to get us down to 0, which I never really thought what was going to happen.
Amazing.
On top of that, he's done a terrific job, I think, so far with the deportations. Sure, everyone would like to see the pace increase, but that's an endeavor that this country has never really undertaken, but it had to be done as we had tens of millions of border crossers into our country illegally, soaking up the goods and services of our system illegally. And these violent criminals among them needed to be deported, and he's doing that as we speak. And so if there's any aspect of the administration that I'm thankful for in the first 10 months, it's Tom Homan.
You know, it's funny because you go through the checklist, and in political campaigns, people talk about what they will do and how they're going to change the world.
Yeah.
Often, doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat, I'm not picking on anybody, but often they either don't or can't or won't. Sometimes it was an insincere promise, but sometimes you just don't have the gas to make it happen. And so what I'm thankful for is that many of the things that a majority of Americans voted for a year ago when they voted Donald Trump back into office have come to fruition. He said, you know, look, I'm going to try to bring grocery prices and gas prices back down, and both have. It's not grocery prices in every area. You know, am I still paying high prices for chicken? Yes, I am. But for some reason, the egg is cheaper. I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg. But no, you know, gas prices are lower. The things that I use every day are more livable. Not perfection by any means, more livable. I'm thankful that that was actually followed through on. He talked about peace in the Middle East. And in fact, he didn't get sworn in until January 20th. But by the middle of December last year, he had Steve Witkoff and a whole team in the Middle East working on it. They had a ceasefire almost immediately in January, and then have worked their way now to peace in the Middle East. We see back on track with the Saudis coming with economic investment from the Middle East, from the Saudis, from UAE, from Qatar. We see peace in Syria. We see all kinds of things going on in what has traditionally been one of the most troubled parts of the world. And I thank this administration for doing what they said they would do with that. I'm thankful, like you, for the border, that actually occurred as it was said it would. And so I have a couple of friends who are...
Let's not forget USAID. I mean, the whole DOGE effort. I mean,
go through the list. You know, the Department of Education being phased out. There's all kinds of things I love. But I've got a couple of friends that are Trump haters. You know, guys I grew up with, not like, you know, political friends, just people I grew up with. And they'll say to me, Tim, how can you be MAGA? And I said, well, one, MAGA stands for Make America Great, and I'm all for that. But I said, if it's blindly a Trumper, that's not me. But I love the issues that are going on here. And I always ask them the very things I just said to you. What is it you're arguing against? Do you want 62,000 people a month coming across the border instead of 0? Well, no, I don't. That's not what I mean. You know, do you want gas for an extra $1 a gallon? Well, no, that's. And when you go down the list, even the people that hate him, they don't like the guy, but they like the results. And so I'm very thankful that he has been able to achieve many of the things. And there's some things that have yet to be accomplished, but there's 3 more years. So we'll see where it goes. But I am thankful to have that. And I'm just thankful in general. Things have ratcheted down this year. I don't see the anger with race relations. I don't see the anger between various religious groups. I don't see, and it's not that it doesn't exist, but the tension among everybody in
Right.
America for a couple of years was so high. There was so much anger at each other. I don't agree politically with those guys I grew up with, but I love them. They're my friends. I've known them forever. And I don't understand how we've gotten away from that. So I'm thankful for more civility in the United States.
Yeah, it's if there's been some disagreement, it's really on the right with Tucker and Fuentes and Candace and Ben and Bannon and Mark Levin. And so, but that's a media war, and it's kind of small potatoes in the grand scheme of things. Look, I think the president has done a really terrific job with what he's got. He's got a severely divided Congress. I know the Republicans control it, but they control it by a vote or two on any given day. Look, the rescissions package with that Russ vote led was terrific. We needed, give me a half a dozen more of those, quite frankly. Let's find more USAIDs to gut out of this government, out of this bloated government. Getting rid of Corporation for Public Broadcasting and NPR and PBS. That was something that the conservative movement had been trying to do for 40 years.
Yeah.
And $1 billion. Long overdue. And the fact that the United States taxpayer was asked to fund propaganda against itself, essentially, against Republicans, against conservatives.
PBS started at a time where you had CBS and NBC, and then ABC kind of came along. But when you and I were growing up, there were 4 channels.
Yeah.
That was it. And so I understood. You had Sesame Street was on PBS. You had the McNeil Lear Report on PBS. But we're in an era now. It's been 30 years since the song 67 Channels and Nothing On came out.
Right.
So we don't need PBS. We don't. If somebody wants to put out that type of programming, God bless them, but the government does not need to fund it. And to your point, they were funding anti-American shows.
I was listening to Ken Burns do promo for his Revolutionary War special. And they asked him at the end of it, Tim, they said, what did you think of PBS being defunded? And Ken Burns, in a very beard stroking way, said, well, look, I'll be okay. Right. I'll find the investment for what I need to do. But I worry about the young filmmaker out there. But when the vote passed, I lost $4 million that day for my LBJ special. And I thought, this guy got $4 million of taxpayer money to do a special on Lyndon Baines Johnson. Why? I mean, there's a zillion conservative news and infotainment outlets out there that would love to have $4 million to do something cool. But somehow Ken Burns feels sort of entitled that just keep the money train coming. Mr. Joe and Jane taxpayer. No, thank you. No, thank you. So I had a smile come across my face. Go find it on your own, buddy, and you'll be fine. And he'll be fine.
He'll squeak by. All right. Final question. I'm going to throw you a curveball before we go.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is traditionally a feast, lit in the most literal sense of the word. People have turkey. They have all the fixings. What is the best item of food on the Bozell family table on Thanksgiving?
Oh, my mother's Jello, banana fruit Jello. That's the best thing. What else? We kind of do prime rib more often than we do turkey, so that's always better. But my mother's banana fruit Jello and assorted other things. So
fair enough. That's banana fruit Jello. I'm going with stuffing. To this day, when I was a little boy, I loved stuffing. I'm an old man now. I love stuffing. Good stuff.
Don't sleep on cheesy green beans. Don't sleep on that.
Happy Thanksgiving, my friend. Always a pleasure. I'll see you soon.
See ya.